up, YouTube? It's your brother YT. Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. Listen, we about to get back into this conversation about birthright citizenship and the changes that are coming under the Trump administration. If you didn't watch the first video, the link will be in the description and the comment section, so you can check that one out. I went in on that one, gave my full, unapologetic opinion on that one. This one, I'm going to go a little lighter, let people share how they feel about it. I'm a commentator as usual. Y'all drop a comment below at any time. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe. And ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get right into it. Let's go.
Listen, I need all y'all to listen up. Starting July 27th, states can start denying citizenship to babies or anyone whose parent isn't either a citizen or a green card holder. So I've heard. Let's dive into it. So from what I am hearing, Trump's executive order to ban birthright citizenship just got the green light. Now, 3 things this executive order is trying to do. 1, redefine the 14th Amendment of who gets citizenship under birthrights. 2, it says babies born in the U.S. won't automatically be U.S. citizens if their parent does not hold a green card or have U.S. citizenship. So that means a baby can get sent to a country it's never been to, or you may be able to get sent to a country you've never been to if your parents does not have citizenship or a green card. Now, I'm not saying that soon as July 27th hit, they're going to go find everybody whose parent wasn't a U.S. citizen or have a green card and just kick y'all out. I'm not saying that. And this is still being fought in court, because the 14th Amendment does clearly state if you are born in the U.S. or naturalized in the U.S., then you are a U.S. citizen. But I'm just letting you know from here on out, if your parents does not have a green card, you will not be considered a U.S. citizen.
You know, with all this talk about birthright citizenship and trying to get rid of that for babies who are born here from immigrant parents, I think we need to take a long assessment and look at the supreme leader's family lineage, his family tree, and then really decide if we really need to be doing the citizenship bullshit. I, for one, say no. I know a lot of other people agree with me. But here's the thing. If you are going to start attacking immigrants, why don't we have to apply it to your family as well? We need to apply it to your family, dude. You know what I mean? If you're going to say, hey, you're brown and you can't have children here that are going to be American, then we need to look at you, sir orangutan, you motherfucking rat, and say, hey, look who your wife is. Look at your children. These people don't deserve to have citizenship according to you. These people don't even deserve to be in this country. But because they're white, it's because they're white. Look, listen, I am tired of defending this, but I will until the end of my fucking life. Dude, if you are going to end birthright citizenship, that goes to everybody, not just us. To you MAGAs as well, you bitch ass racists.
All right, now I'm hearing these comments on the internet. I told y'all I don't vouch for no president. I don't rock with presidents at all. Yeah, people are saying they need to look into his wife. Let's look into it. If she got a green card or she's married to an American citizen like Trump, then she here legally. I just pulled it up. She's been a U.S. citizen since July 28th, 2006. So y'all gotta let that one go. Now, like I said, I'm tired of the ignorance on the internet about this topic, because it's a lot of talk that's not factual, man. It's no truth behind it. Y'all just talking out the side of y'all neck. And I'm not a type of person that's gonna spread that. You know, I'm gonna correct what needs to be corrected. If it's fact, it's fact. If they here illegal, they need to go. But if they not, then we can't do that to them. This fight really should be against what's legal and what's not legal. Upholding the Constitution and upholding the law as well. That's what it need to be about. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not about race either. It don't need to be about that. It need to be about legality. What's legal, what's not legal. What's constitutional, what's not constitutional.
Listen, excuse me. So the fat bastard in charge a while ago challenged birthright citizenship. The lower courts, federal, deemed it unconstitutional, so it went to the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court is stacked red, rojo, so it ruled in the fat bastard in charge favor, kind of, sorta. Now, they didn't rule on the part of the 14th Amendment. They ruled more on the fact that they thought the lower courts, federal judges, were overstepping their boundaries. Now, when Biden was still in office, he made it a point to appoint over 100 federal judges for these type of things. So if the fat bastard in charge did some executive orders that was unconstitutional, then federal judges could stop that for a time. So, and that's what they've been doing. They actually been doing their job. But unfortunately, we have a Rojo Supreme Court who is siding with the fat bastard in charge on everything. So what does that mean? So birthright citizenship, the fat bastard in charge said in his little press conference that it was meant for babies of enslaved to be citizens. That's what he said. He said how it's used now, it was never meant for that. And it's separate than the 14th Amendment. That's what he said. Realistically, if he's going to do that, then Barron has to be deported almost immediately, along with Melania, because when Melania sped out that spawn of Satan, she wasn't a citizen yet. She was an illegal. So Barron has to go along with his mail order mother. His madre and him have to beat their feet, bitch. They got to put on their zapatos, bitch, and head back over there to Russia, bitch. Ukraine, Russia, Slovakian, bitch, whatever that bitch is, that European American female dog is, she has to go back, okay? If he wants to stay on this course, which I think he does, they got to go back. The first family got to go back first, okay, ho? Amen.
If they're going to play it that type of way, it need to be played that type of way. We got to question how they're going to go about that. And this is Congress.gov. As I'm looking this up, it says Trump's first 3 children did not receive birthright citizenship. So I want to hear from y'all. How do y'all feel about that? What do y'all think about that? Listen, like I said, I'm just here backing what's right. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If this how we going to play it, it needs to be handled correctly. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're the president of kids. It needs to be handled the correct way for everybody. It shouldn't be no favoritism. The Constitution should be the thing that's holding y'all accountable. And that's what we should be backing this all by. Constitution and law. I'm not going to keep saying it. Matter of fact, I might keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. If this how we going to play it, this how we going to play it. Let me know how y'all feel about this.
I am so glad that Donald Trump spoke on the issue of birthright citizenship that Democrats have been so dead set on fighting, and said that birthright citizenship was for the benefit of African Americans. It was added in 1868 for the benefit of slaves and their children, not for the benefit of migrants who have come to this country illegally over these past few years, who have walked across the Texas border and had babies in this country and abused the 14th Amendment because they automatically know that if they have a baby in this country, then that baby is a United States citizen. Many women over these past few years have conveniently forgotten to disclose the fact that they were pregnant because they knew that once they crossed the border and had a baby on American soil, that baby is automatically an American citizen. Why is it okay, in Democrats' point of view, for people like migrants who have not earned the right to be in this country to automatically be given rights that black people, African American people in this country had to fight so hard to get? Since Democrats claim to be the party of inclusion, the party who fights for rights, fights for the African American people, why are you so content giving away rights to somebody else who are not even citizens, who don't even belong in this country?
Good morning and happy Sunday, my loves. Wanting to let you guys know that the list has come out of the states that will not be affected by the decision on birthright citizenship within the next 30 days. Let me explain, guys. So based on the Supreme Court decision, any state that has, I guess, an open case, like an open pending suit against the administration and ICE for trying to take away birthright citizenship will not be affected in 30 days. Those states are protected. Now, the remaining states that have not filed a lawsuit for, human rights violations or anything like that, in 30 days, that can take effect, which means that a lot of undocumented migrants that live in those states that are currently pregnant will lose the ability to have a child that's a U.S. citizen. All right, guys, so let me read you off the states that, as I said, are protected as of right now. Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, and Wisconsin. Spread this video for awareness, my loves. Let me know if you're a Democrat and you live in a red state. What are your thoughts on what's going on? And everybody else, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Spread this video for awareness, my loves. Be safe on this Sunday. I love you guys. We got to stick together. You see something, say something.
So far, it's really split. Some people agree with it. Some people don't agree with it. Everybody entitled to their own opinion. I don't know what's the tally, right? I ain't keeping account. But I know some people agree, some people don't agree. And it's for obvious reasons. You know? It's definitely for obvious reasons. Who agrees and who don't agree. Who feel a type of way and who don't feel a type of way. This is a change. And they've been here for all of this time. Where are they going, though? That's the real question. Where are they being sent to? Is there an incentive for them? Is there some money set aside for them? Is there some type of budget or plan that'll help them ease into starting their life over elsewhere?
So who's a citizen if the Supreme Court overturns birthright citizenship? It's in the executive order. The new definition of citizenship is in the EO. So if you are born here, you are not an American citizen if the person's mother was unlawfully in the US and the father is not a citizen or lawful permanent resident. Or if you are born here and your mother is in the US, but it's temporary, like if they are a tourist and your father is not a US citizen. So one of your parents has to be citizens, basically. TLDR. This is not retroactive, so it would apply to anyone born in the US after 30 days after the thing was signed, so February, whatever. So this does not apply to any of Donald Trump's children because Donald Trump is a citizen, regardless of whether the mothers of his 40 million children were. It also doesn't apply to you because you're older than 30 days. It is true that the 14th Amendment has a plain meaning, that if you were born here, you are a citizen. That is what was argued on the Senate floor when they were debating the amendment in the first place, and it was confirmed by the Supreme Court in later cases. It is also true that racists have been fighting to limit the scope of the 14th Amendment since it was ratified. So it is not outside of the realm of possibility that one of these cases will make its way up to the Supreme Court and they will rule in the administration's favor. All fascist and right-wing populist movements are fundamentally based on the question of who is a real whatever, a real American, a real Hungarian, a real Indian. It is Clarence Thomas's wet dream to be able to define this. So who knows? I mean, if you get a lot of creators, historians, and lawyers and journalists and whatever trying to make predictions about what the Supreme Court is going to do, I think that is pointless. We don't know what they're going to do. Neither would surprise me. Meaning I would not be surprised if they do not go along with it. I would not be surprised if they do. If they do go along with it and tell the executive branch that it can functionally amend the Constitution with the stroke of a pen, we are going to have a lot of work to do. We're going to have to get a Congress that actually cares about doing its job, which we have not had since probably the 90s. And then we would have to pass a lot of constitutional amendments limiting the scope and the power of the executive branch. Hold on to your butts. I am wearing a Jurassic Park shirt.
This is the part I think people failing to realize, or maybe they do realize it, but I'm not seeing why it's such an uproar. One of your parents has to be a legal citizen. I feel like that's fair, man. You were here unlawfully. The unlawful part is, like, we can't just jump over that, breeze by that. Unlawful. It's not lawful. Why are we trying to back something that's not lawful? That's the part I don't get. That's fair to me. One of your parents got to be a citizen. Can't be a tourist. No tourist should be coming over here having a kid. Even if they plan on staying here illegally, they just gonna come over here, have a kid, so they can stay, and the kid can stay. I mean, that's not really right. We can't do that in no other country. Maybe a few, but not most of them. Most times you gotta get residency or citizenship. You gotta marry one of their locals, meaning one of the people from that country, or you can get a visa or citizenship through investment. Investing a whole lot of money in that country. Those are usually the stipulations. Or if somewhere in your lineage you have ties to that country, then sometimes that's a way too. Through naturalization. And I didn't know that so many people had two immigrant parents, especially black people. The black people get mad. I didn't go to school with people that had two immigrant parents for the most part. They were documented. They had social security numbers, driver's license, The whole nine. So I'm just trying to see why this is such a big deal. I know people are taking it out of context. Like I said, I'm hearing a lot of ignorance on the internet. People not reading into it for real. They're not listening. So y'all let me know, man. Y'all correct me. Y'all go in on me if y'all feel like I'm wrong. But she just said it out of her mouth too. One parent got to be legal.
So I agree with the Supreme Court decision for the birthright citizenship. Now, essentially, what happened was the Trump administration, well, the Supreme Court decided that these federal judges, which Biden put in right before he left, don't forget that really wasn't Biden, it was whoever was running the country. So he put a bunch of those federal judges in to block the things that Trump would be doing in the future. Because why did you put 100 and something black? Now they ain't did that the whole time. 100 something black. See, they're using the race thing again. Black federal judges to stop him at every turn. Why would they do that? Anyway, so I agree that moving forward, birthright, I agree with it. Because you know what that means? That means people can stop coming over and taking advantage. And the thing is, people are so afraid to speak about the truth because they're afraid to be called a racist when it's not even that. Because when I talk, I'm not talking about just Hispanics. I'm talking about the Indians, the Middle Easterns, the Arabs, the Ethiopians, everybody, okay? The white, whoever came over here. You can't do that in any other country. You can't just go over there, have babies, and be like, oh, they're a citizen now. That's no. You can't do that. So why would America allow it? And I say that's good because it frees up space, jobs, money, aid, so on, and programs, everything, even just classroom room, because remember it was like 32 people to a classroom at one point. So it frees up a lot of space for us who've been here to be able to have a more comfortable environment. And the reality is a lot of these immigrants came over here and been getting everything handed to them for free because they're not a citizen. So they don't have a social security number. They don't have to report anything. They get Medicaid, Medi-Cal, whatever you want to call it. Free lunch. They get free tutoring. Everything is done under the table. They know friends, family. They hook them up with jobs, pay them under the table so they're not paying taxes. They have food trucks. They have carts. They have all these things that's cash only, and they're getting everything handed down to them for free and tax free. And that's why they can come over here and be millionaires in a few years and build businesses and all that, because there has been no proof of citizenship for years. So anybody, and I'm talking about any race, that come over here and be like, look, we just came over here as immigrants and now we can do this and that. And it's like, yeah, because everything was handed to you. You have no one that is putting a forceful hand and putting roadblocks in your path to keep you from being successful. That's not our case. Now, we've had to fight. We have to fight literally for every little thing. And it's still not what it's supposed to be. But I'm in total agreement with it. Yes, it should be only us, descendants of slaves. But the reality is if we do that, everybody will have to go except for us. That's the reality. But of course, no one's gonna go there for real. Maybe sometime in the future it'll happen, but the reality is, yeah, everybody would be gone. The country would be empty. Well, really wouldn't be empty, it'd just be us. But yeah, hopefully this ushers in the second exodus. And I hope that's a real thing, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Also remember, the only reason why we're going through any of this is because of the Biden administration and Kamala. Remember, Kamala was the border czar. Remember? And we're still missing those hundreds of thousands of children. Remember? And they're finding kids' backpacks and shoes and bones and stuff in the desert. Remember? Remember, she'd never been to the border, but she's the border czar. Remember? Okay. That's the real problem. Don't be mad at Trump. Be mad at them. Now, look, listen. I don't agree with Trump on everything at all. I think he's good for the economy. Obviously, the economy stuff has been working. But I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he does, just FYI. But I do agree with this one. There has to be a limit. Has to be.
Yes, indeed. It won't be long now, God's decree. Things are going to happen so fast, it will make your head swim. Did y'all hear of the Supreme Court passing the birthright citizenship? It's like God, when he told Jacob, I've seen all that Laban has done to you, and you are getting it back. In the Bible, in Genesis, it speaks of Rebekah, who had 2 sons. She was pregnant with twins, Jacob and Esau. And God told Rebekah, even when the boys were in her womb, that the younger would rule over the older, even though it was their custom that the older son would have the birthright. But God switched the plan, and God said, no, the younger will rule over the older. And as time went on, Jacob was considered to be somewhat of a trickster, and he tricked Esau in selling him his birthright. Little did he knew it was already his. The birthright was already his. God had prophesied that it was his birthright. Therefore, all the promises of the firstborn was Jacob. Thus, fast forwarded to you, these are your inheritance. God said, I've seen all that Laban has done to you, and you are getting it back. You are getting it back with interest. Watch and see. It's God's decree. Good talk.
All praises to the Most High Yahuwah. That's right. We're living through the end times, the last days, whatever you would like to call it. We're living through prophecy. Let me just say that. We are living through prophecy. So everything that's happening is going according to the will of the Most High. Peace to my Hebrew family. Shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one. I want to see y'all tear it up in the comments, man. I want to see y'all go crazy in the comments. Comment on how y'all feel about this, especially my Hebrew fam. Shalom. I'm out.